Well, guys, we've had a little bit of a catastrophe down here, and it's going to be a long night, but we're going to deal with this tonight. That's it. You found one.
That's 14.
Yeah, it's better to let it come up itself, though.
Did you see that? Your barber just spun under 2 times.
Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and you guys know that mostly my videos are about equipment or trying to do some kind of a DIY project or something like that. In a recent video, I was asking you guys what you wanted to see more of, and a few people said you'd like to see more like family stuff. And half my family doesn't want to be on camera, so it's not really going to turn into that type of channel. But it's a weekend. The grandkids are going to be here. We got a bunch of stuff going on that they're going to think is fun. So I'm just going to see if I can catch some of that stuff. Also, I think my hay is going to be baled today. We might get some of that footage and just see how it goes. So hopefully it's a good video and you stick around. How many did we find? 12 pumpkin plants. Okay, now soak that one down and go to the next one. And then hit over here because we think there's one right here. It just hasn't come up yet.
Where?
Well, I put 4 on each one. So there's 1, 2, then there'd be 3 and 4. So we need to give some water to the ones that haven't come up yet. You found another one that was hidden?
Yeah.
It was buried?
Yeah, right there.
See, they start growing underground and then it takes them a little while to poke up through. Don't spray this yet. Let's come down between these 2 rows. Come down the middle of these 2. Then you can do that one and this one and that one and that one.
Okay.
So go all the way down to the end. That way you're not walking in mud if this gets all muddy. Okay. Soak them good. Yep, spray it right up on the top. We don't want grass growing in between. Is that? That's it. You found one.
That's 14.
Yeah, it's better to let it come up itself, though. We don't want to dig them out too much. Nice job finding that. That's 14.
Let's spray it.
All right. What is it?
Another pumpkin seed.
Man, you keep finding them. So last time I only saw one on this hill. Now there's 3. They're coming up right now. So that makes 17, I think. We'll count them again after we're done. I'm going to have to call you Eagle Eye because you're the pumpkin plant finder.
Look at all that water. It's leaking. Well, the plants don't get no water, right?
Yeah, it's okay. Keep spraying the hill. Most of it will soak in and a little bit will run off.
How about that grows green?
Yeah, what if we took a piece of dirt and put it right there? You think that would stop it?
Oh.
Little bit?
Nope.
Can we dam it?
Nope. That still doesn't help. Nope. No. Okay, now. It worked!
All right, soak it down, buddy. Okay, let's start right here in our ugly hill.
Yeah.
You see any in the ugly hill?
You don't like that. There's 1.
Okay, we got 1 here.
0.
0. Dang.
Not here, 0.
I bet we'll find some on this row tomorrow, but there's only 1 on the first row.
Where? No.
So we got 1 on this one. That makes 2 total.
1. Yeah.
That makes 3.
Where? 1.
There's 4.
1. 1.
That makes 5.
2. 3.
6, 7, 8.
1. That's big.
Man, you are so good at finding those.
How much are those?
Okay, that's definitely a plant, but we'll leave it alone. So how many do we have? 8. So that makes 9, 10.
Look at this one.
So that's 11, 12, 13,
14, 15, 16, 17.
17. So if you don't think that those 17 pumpkins we just found are everything in life, maybe just think again. There's nothing I'd rather be doing tonight than counting pumpkins.
27, 28.
27, 28.
29.
30, 31.
32. You want to go fishing?
Yesterday we had 12 in the morning, and then we came back out here to water, and Zayden found 5 more to get us to 17. Now we've got 31. There were 80 seeds put out, so we're gonna get at least half, I'd say. But we need to water them, then we got some other stuff to do. I need to build something down here for a little bit of shade and some benches or something.
Me and Papa are trying to catch a catfish. Papa ate 2 of my big fish. Papa, I'm not lying. Your bobber kind of went under. Then we have to catch 2 fish. Me and Papa are going to try to catch catfish, right, Papa? Did you see that? Your bobber just went under 2 times. I can feel it. No. Because me and Papa just filled it.
So it looks like the neighbors are here to bale the hay. One of those neighbors is Austin Reed, who has the YouTube channel on the fabrication that I just recently showed. But we'll catch a little bit of footage of them doing that, unless it's too wet. They're turning the tractor around, it might be too wet. I just came down to the garage to get the weed eater, because my wife does not like standing in weeds when she's fishing. And she's the one who catches all these bluegill. Okay, here we go. I think it's a turtle because it's not moving the other way.
Something big.
Yeah, it's big, but it's going to be a turtle, not a cat.
Look, it's swimming. Away.
It ended up being a long ordeal, but I couldn't quite get that turtle all the way up on the bank. And finally the line broke and he swam back in, so I guess I'll fight with him another day. Right around that same time, the neighbors showed up to bale the hay with this older John Deere and a late model New Holland tractor. I only recorded just a little bit of them working on this one area. If you didn't know, I've got 5 grandkids. One of them's really a baby still, and we're about to have a 6th. And I've been telling them for a while I would take them all to pick out their own fish. So that's where we headed next.
There you go. Dump it in slowly, slowly. There you go. Now fill one more cup up.
Calm down.
Hold on to it. Give me the cup. Give me the cup. Fill it slowly. Grab the bottom of that bag right here, where my finger is. Now, tilt it slowly. Let go of the top. Tilt it. Now pull. Let him swim out. Let him swim out. Let him swim out. You did it. There's your fish.
What, baby?
Just stand right there. Okay? I want you to fill it up. I want you to get this cup full of water all the way. Big cup of water. Big cup of water. There you go.
Why do you do that?
Because we wanted to get acclimated to the water. She isn't acclimated.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide that. We don't know.
You think it's a girl fish?
You think it's a girl? You think it's a boy? You think it's a girl?
Are you next, Erilyn?
You're good. You can stay up there. Oh, you don't need any more water. Are you ready to let the fish go? Yes, right there. Okay, ready? I got you. You're not gonna fall.
So they're all swimming up there where you're doing that.
Let go.
Ready.
Good. Don't dump them this time. Oh, we don't.
Hey.
Baden,
Don't grab
do
him.
not grab him.
See, he's not running away. They're not scared of you unless you move fast towards them.
Don't try to grab them, and then they'll be angry.
For the first time since actually setting the pond up, it was completely clear where you could see all the way to the bottom in the middle. And I knew I couldn't leave it that way because we still need to add a bunch more rock to the upper ring. And some of the rocks had fallen in from different things we did, and that needed cleaned up. So every time you get in there and move stuff around, it's cloudy for a couple days. So that's what we're dealing with right now. But I got 12 more bags of river rock to put in the pond. We also took the aerators out of the middle and kind of hid them in the rocks on each side. Thought it was kind of distracting having that aeration bubbling up right in the center. We've also got a lot of spots like this where we've got big rocks and there's gaps in between them. I thought about putting dirt in there. That dirt would wash into the pond. Thought about putting foam in there. Foam's expensive. I'm just gonna drop this river rock down into all these cracks along here. Oh, yeah, it scratches up your foot and stuff, hitting the rocks.
It's more like my hands. I'm just like, oh yeah, like, oh, I don't know where the rock is. I'm just like punching it. Like, take that, you stupid rock. Didn't see that coming.
So if I get that dirt wet and then smash these rocks into it, maybe it'll stay better. What we're working on right now is our shelf that's supposed to be a plant shelf and a viewing shelf covered with that river rock. All that river rock is falling off into the bottom because we've got a deep part and then a rock wall and then a shelf. But where that rock wall meets that shelf, there's gaps in between the rocks, and all that river rock is just falling down and it all ending up in the hiding spots for the fish. So we're taking baseball, softball sized rocks and plugging all the holes where that river rock's falling in, because I just keep buying more bags of this and putting it in there, and then we need more. So trying to save the rock we have. Just got a final update on the pumpkin plant count. I put 80 seeds in the ground with 4 per hill, 20 hills. And out of 80 seeds, we currently have 36 plants up, which 24 hours ago we had 12. So they're really popping up. Well, the last couple of hours have sucked. You saw my son down here. He was kind of smoothing out this ring of rocks, and he was putting down this river rock that goes around the perimeter. And when we built the pond, we had this thick rubber mat that we were using to set the biggest, heaviest rocks on so we could slide them without the rocks damaging the liner. Well, in a lot of cases, we left that rubber mat in there and it wanted to float. So if the rocks weren't weighing it down just right, the edges of it were floating up and you could see them and it looked bad. He asked me if I wanted him to come down here and pull those out. And I said, yeah, let's do it. So he came down and he started pulling them out. He said, well, half of them are still under these big rocks, you know, and we don't want to move these big rocks. So the decision we made was, if you make a cut in that rubber mat, you can rip it. You can't just grab it and rip it, but if you make a cut, it'll rip. And so the ones that were sticking under the big rocks, so we'll make a cut in the rubber mat, rip it off, and then we'll have a minimal amount of that mat left. So he was just about done with that. And then I was doing something else. I came over here and he just had a look on his face. And I was like, I think something's wrong. And he immediately just told me, he said, I cut the liner. And he was trying to cut that mat and he jabbed the scissors right into the liner. And right in front of where I'm at, right down there, he cut through the liner. And I thought it was going to be a big deal for a second. And then, yeah, I said, he said, I guess that we're going to spend all day on that tomorrow. I said, no, let's do it right now. And You know, I told him that's a bummer, but I've made worse mistakes in my life than cutting a pond liner. A lot worse. And that's, you know, it'll be all right. So we drained it down. That took about an hour, hour and a half to drain it down with the sump pump. And then I had a pool liner. That pool liner, pool patch or pool repair kit said that you could apply that liner repair kit underwater. Like, that's crazy. I can't believe that works underwater. I would never try it underwater. I'm gonna drain it down. So we drained it down, we cleaned the liner, dried it, flattened it out, used that pool patch. And then we cleaned off the top of that, and I had some of that Gorilla underwater waterproof tape. It's like high dollar stuff that I actually used to seam a part of this, and we put that over the patch. So it should be good. I feel pretty confident in it, and we're starting to fill it back up. Now it is 11 p.m. and I've got a hose from the shop and then a hose from here, both running down into the pond. Try to fill it as fast as possible. I think this will be full by 2 a.m. and I can turn the liner back, or the pump back on. So I'm gonna wait on this until 2 in the morning. And the reason I don't just wait until tomorrow, I could just fill this tomorrow. And the reason I don't is all of the sludge and slime that have built up on these rocks is the beneficial bacteria that makes your pond a functioning ecosystem. If you let all this dry out, you lose everything you've gained of the month of cycling the pond water. Because the water doesn't cycle. What cycles is the bacteria that builds up in your filter box, in your skimmer, and on your rocks. And I don't want to go backward on that. So that's why I wanted to fix it tonight before all this dries and bakes in the sun tomorrow. So all's well that ends well, and I think this is going to end well. This video has been kind of all over the place. Hopefully it was entertaining. I appreciate you taking time to watch. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.